everyone, welcome to Crafting with Cora. Today I'm going to show you how to make one of these elephants, cute birth stats, so with the name, the last name, and some birth information on this side. So the one I'm going to show you is a design I've created. You can always create your own design, decide which way you want to do things. So this is what we're going to show you today. So for that, you're going to need one of these cute little elephants. I got mine at designblanks.ca. I have the link in the video below. You're going to use some HTV. My favorite is the Siser brand. I always use the stretch, mostly because that's all I carry because I do a lot of shirts. But for an item like the little elephant here, since it won't be stretched out very much, you can also use just regular Easy Weed. Going to need some tweezers, my X-Acto knife, or some scissors. And I have a Cricut mat. Now I use the Cricut program to design all of my work. So here I have my design that we're going to use today. As you can see, it's two different colors. So we're going to have the pink and we're going to have the black. So I'm going to show you how to do that for a setup. In another video, I'll show you exactly how to work with the text and how to create the text. I already have it in the right dimensions. So for this, I decided to do 3 by 3. So if I'm going to take out the measuring tape, my 3 inches will be about here and then about here. So it goes right in the middle of the ear, as you can see on this finished one. So now I'm going to send my created project to my Cricut, and we're going to let the Cricut cut that out for us. So as you can see, it's divided into 2 different mats, black one and a red one. There's this option here to mirror. So we're going to click the mirror option for both. Make sure that your text actually moved over. And as you can see here, my little 3 hearts go on top of each other. So you can either do them manually, and then as you can see, I did that here and they're a little bit crooked. Or I can go back into my image and attach all of my hearts in this shape already. And so when it's going to cut, they're already going to be perfectly spaced out, and I just have to set it in the right spot. So I prefer to do it that way. It's a lot easier, and it makes sure that everything is aligned. So now we're going to hit the mirror button again. And we're going to make sure that our text has been mirrored for both. And we're going to put our paper on our Cricut mat. So when you're using any HTV, you're going to want to make sure that the shiny side goes down. Since it has the carrier sheet built in already. We're going to get rid of these air bubbles. And then I bought this X-Acto knife from the Cricut website. You can use any X-Acto knife. I really love how sharp this one is. It makes it really easy to cut your vinyl. So if you're doing multiple projects, you may want to have multiple mats out and load all of your vinyl on and then just feed it through the machine as it goes. Since I'm only doing 2 colors, I'm just going to use the same mat. So I'm going to load on into my machine here. So welcome back. Now that Cricut has cut out all our pieces for us, it might be a little bit hard to see, so I use this little lamp. You can see here, got it from IKEA. It was about $20. I like it because I can turn where the light goes, so I can use it specifically for vinyling, especially if I'm weeding some white. I find it a little bit harder than other colors. So what I did is I cut around the excess that we won't be needing. As you can see, it's a lot clearer on the black. So what I do is I always cut up my pieces before I start weeding into the sections that I'm going to be doing them in. So because the G doesn't go with all this other information, I'm going to separate it. And you're going to want to be really careful not to cut anything that's already been cut. And the same thing here, I'm going to cut out the name Victoria. And I'm going to leave the little heart separate. So to weed, my favorite tool are these tweezers that I got from Design Blanks. I like the curved edges here. Some people prefer straight. I really like the curved. And then we're going to start weeding. So I always start in the corner. And because I use this Siser brand, I find that it's very, very easy to just pull through completely like this. Generally, there's no little parts that lift up. You just have to pull pretty smooth. Don't pull in one big brush motion. That's where you're going to lose some pieces. Then I just weed out in the middle. I find tweezers really effective just for this. Makes it a lot easier when you don't have to keep going back to the garbage for every single piece you're taking out. These little pieces, you're going to want to be really careful. You don't want those ending up somewhere else and then it presses onto your item. Okay, so now we're at the heat press. We're going to press for 160 at 160 for 20 seconds. So I'm going to put my little elephant and I'm going to pre-press. So as you can see inside, I have a 9x9 pressing pillow. It absorbs all the seams, so it gives you a little bit more of an even finish when you're using the vinyl. So I'm just going to press for a few seconds on each ear. And it makes the ear nice and flat, so it makes it a little bit easier to place your vinyl since everything is already... Oops. Gotta make sure your little elephant doesn't fall like that. But it makes it a lot easier to press once your ears are flat. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the big letter. And I'm going to place it exactly where I want it on my ear. So you're going to make sure when you're looking at it that it's straight. I always look at both ears. So now it's in the spot I want it. I'm going to put the ear down. And you can see here we have the Teflon sheet on the heat press. And we're going to press with firm pressure for 20 seconds. Then we're going to repeat this process until we have all the pieces done. Now when you're pressing multiple colors on top of each other, now I ripped off the carrier sheet. Normally you would repress again. But since we're going to be pressing something over top, we don't need to press this one a second time since it's going to get repressed once I add the name on. So now I put the name where I want it. Perfect. And then I'm going to press again for 20 seconds. All right, so I'm going to peel off the carrier sheet again. And I'm going to repress the whole thing again for another 20 seconds to make sure everything's really set into my little elephant. So now we're going to do the other side. I'm going to start with all the birth stats since that's the part that's the biggest. And it's already pretty much aligned on its own. So this is what the elephant is going to look like. And we're going to press this now for 20 seconds. Peel the carrier sheet off. And this is where my little hearts here that I welded together will come in handy. Since they're all on one piece, it was easy for me to just press it exactly where I wanted, and it's all aligned in the exact same place it was in my design on the computer. So now we're going to press this for 20 seconds. Going to pull off the carrier sheet for the hearts, and I'm going to press the whole thing again for 20 seconds just to make sure that it's really sit in there just like we did on the other side. So there you have it. My little elephant is ready to go to his home. Got the birth stats on this side. We've got the name and the last name here. My little elephant is ready to go. Thanks again for tuning in to Crafting with Cora. Check out our other videos. Have a great day.